Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. You guys have been bamboozling me, upset because I haven't made a Pokemon video in like 2 weeks, which I guess in Pikachu time, that's 2 months. And in stepmom time, that's 2 years. So I apologize. It's been a while. You guys are getting all a little wound up and jittery on me. So we're going to answer some Pokemon questions. Number 1, Rudy. What do you think about the market and Pokemon being flat right now and the prices of booster boxes being stable? Well, I'm glad you asked, Penelope. So, right now, the Pokemon market, we've talked about, operates. It operates like the staircase. We have these little areas. Boop! Boop! We have these, the Pokemon market doesn't go like this. It doesn't go like this. It kind of has these little... Wall Street's very similar. It's like Wall Street. Every 3 months, a company reports their earnings. That earnings report kind of recalibrates where the stock price should be. If the company's overpriced, the earnings report will kind of cause the stock to drop hard and recalibrate. If the earnings are growing or doing better than expected, the stock has a huge gap up, giggity, and the stock price recalibrates higher. So, let's start with the first thing here. I don't even know what you guys are talking about right now. I'm looking at this thing, and let's see here. Surging Sparks is $247, all-time high. Let's see here. Stellar Crown is almost $200, all-time high. Twilight Masquerade is almost $200 a box, all-time high. Let's see here. Temporal, about 160s range, plus or minus, bouncing around all over the place, all-time high. Paradox Rift, almost 150, all-time high. What? I think we've entered the phase where so many new people have jumped in the Pokemon situation, and so many people are so... I've never seen such short-minded, small timetables. Like, people are literally looking at Pokemon box prices by the day. Like, even you guys, no disrespect, love you all a long time. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I like money. And... people, I get Patreon messages of people saying, Rudy, I've been following Surging Sparks. In the last 13 days, it's been the same price. 13 days? We are looking at graphs and we're pricing things on time frames this small now? What happened to the 5-year, 7-year, 10-year? I don't want to go on a rant here because there's actually a lot of important things need to be discussed on Pokemon today, but you guys do know that almost every single person watching this video right now, I'd be willing to bet almost every single person is not going to hold their collections or investments for 5 to 10 years. Like, we have this thing on the internet. Hey guys, I'm Rudy with Timmy's Empire. I have 3 balls and 2 stepsisters, and everything I buy is for a 5 to 10 year investment. You all do know almost everyone around you in this hobby is not going to hold for 10 years. Like, it's like the oldest meme of all time. Like, it's just not really the real world. Because think about this. If you're between the ages of, 18 to 28, you're in your 20s pretty much. Okay? The amount of life events ahead of you that you can't comprehend, between jobs, careers, family, moving, boyfriend, girlfriend, getting, having your significant other knocked up and having 69 kids. You don't even have a clue the direction of your life if you're in that age range. And then if you're older, into the 30s and 40s range, now you're trying to meander your way, your things are calming down a little in life, and your brain's fully developed, and you feel like you're smarter and you understand your life, and you're starting to understand life in your 30s. Well, old man Rudy, who's 40 years old now, let me tell you all something. When I was in my 30s, I was an idiot. When I was in my 20s, I was an idiot squared. When I was in my teenage years, I was an idiot cubed. So no matter what, the argument that we are having right now is what degree of idiocracy that we are. So just remember that. But let's return to the video now. Just remember, folks, this timetable of 5 to 10 years, almost nobody actually fulfills that conversation point on the internet. Like, if you're on social media, or if you're on MySpace with Tom, or Facebook, or Discords, or Reddit, Like, before you even ask a question, you always have to make sure, remember, if you're on Reddit, before you post about anything in Magic and Pokemon, you got to say, hey guys, I know the S&P is better, and I know I have to hold for at least 10 years. Now that I've said these two things, let me ask you a real question. Because again, the people who make those posts, you're seeking advice from literally like a pool of macaroni noodles. And you just poured a bunch of cheese and they're all just stuck to each other and their faces are like this. Like, that's who you're looking for advice from. So good luck with that. So, Scarlet Violet, they're all at almost all-time highs. And now people are making videos. Rudy, is the growth over? Is this it? Was the bubble over with? Folks, I don't even understand what to respond to you all. Like, I'll even tell, I've run 2 Pokemon Scarlet Violet variety sales in the last 90 days. I have the next one coming up in the next, 5 to 10 days. I have my 3rd Scarlet Violet sale coming up for patrons. And this time it's going to be like, Surging Sparks and Stellar and Twilight and Paradox. We'll pick some random crap. And we're going to take 4 or 5 boxes. We're going to add them all up. If Surging Spark, or if Stellar Crown is, it's $200 a box. Whatever the price is. And then let's see here, $200 plus tax is $215. We're going to take $30 off that box. And then we're going to add up all 4 or 5 boxes. And we're going to take off the total of 30 times 5, $150. And there's your price. If you want to buy it, that's great. If you don't want to buy it, yeah, skip it. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Because in 6 months, we'll run the same sale again, and we'll just raise the price further. This is the 3rd time coming up. And people are begging and begging and begging for more Pokemon sales. Because the demand is just unlike anything I've seen. And right now, folks, there's no... okay, every couple months, the timeline slides forward. We go from Surging Sparks to Prismatic. And now in 30 days and 45 days from now, we go to Journey Together. Every time this calendar continues to slide forward like this, there are sets and boxes in the rearview mirror that are getting older and older and older. And every set in that human centipede line is having a probability decline and decline and decline the probability of any more product coming. Now, I wish they would have the capacity to reprint more of these Pokemon sets, because honestly I'd like to buy more. Well, if you can, even though distributors are marking shit up higher than I've ever seen in my entire career. I've never seen Pokemon for stores at the wholesale level marked up at the level it's marked up. I've never seen this before. So let's go back to the questions. Rudy, number 1, is this the peak? No, it's not. Number 2, Rudy, do you think I should still buy at today's prices? Honestly, it depends on what your goal is. If you're buying Pokemon and you're enjoying it and you're opening the boxes, you're collecting the sets, you're chasing the cards, you're having a good time with friends, you're playing strip Pokemon where every time someone hits a card, you're sniffing another loses a piece of clothing, enjoy it. Because there's a lot of fun to be had in a good, fun, positive market like this. Yes, the prices are going to continue to climb. No, there's not going to be endless reprints to destroy these things. And when we do get a reprint, we really can't do anything because the floor price is raised so much the market can't even recalibrate. When distributors, instead of selling stores boxes for $90 to $100 a box, are selling reprinted boxes for $150, $170, $180. Oh, Surging Sparks $250? Hey Rudy, do you want some more? We got a restock in only $220. There's no chance they are not allowing the market to pull back. So in the Scarlet Violet era, in my opinion, I stand by before, SVO 1, 2, 3, 4 is getting pretty old. The probability of those things going back remains almost next to 0 in my opinion. But even the newer ones, the 5, 6, 7, 8 now, I almost just want to tell you all, if you enjoy it and you really want to take it, I even don't see a problem with today's prices. I can't offer you cases. I mean, I can offer some private stuff if you guys want to give me private messages, but overall, I don't have enough product where I'm comfortable selling by the case and doing mass sales because it'll wipe me out of positions. And I still believe this stuff has a lot more room to run. And I think there's a tremendous opportunity because no, I don't think the market has peaked. Question number 3. And question number 4, I do not think the market's going to peak this year at all. I think we continue to go through this Pokemon bull run. and I think it lasts between 1 to 3 years. I think we're almost at 1 full year in the Pokemon bull market, and if we're lucky, we'll make it to 3 years. If we're unlucky, in the next 6 months, it'll start to stall out as we head to the end of this year. Most probable outcome, the Pokemon bull market lasts all year, and then all next year it starts to level out, and by year 3 we start to kind of we have a reverse suction. She starts pulling backwards. That is the most likely, highest probable outcome. Doesn't mean that's what's going to happen or I think is going to happen. That just means the odds are in that particular layout. Now let's take a pause there. Let's go back to Sword and Shield era. And then I want to kind of touch on even Sun and Moon and XY, even though it's just kind of, there's not really much of a point. But I want to go back to the Sword and Shield. At the end of this month, I have a couple more Pokemon sales for you guys coming up here, but the schedule's pretty packed this month. Going to the end of the month, I am going to run a high roller Sword and Shield era booster box sale, where it's going to be 5 Sword and Shield variety booster boxes. No, it will not include Evolving Skies. It's just too expensive. And it will include, sets like Chilling Reign. It will include, Lost Origins. It will include Silver Tempest. Booster boxes, not ETBs. And again, same thing before. If the booster box is $300 on TCG Player plus tax, so if the box is $320 shipped, we'll mark it down by $30 a box, and we'll add it all up, give a nice little discount. You guys can buy it if you want. If you don't, just skip it and say F off. So I still believe that I haven't changed my attitude. Sword and Shield is probably the more favorable. I still like that block better than Scarlet Violet. I understand. I've done very, very well in both blocks. Mostly because I didn't listen to anyone on the internet. Remember I told you guys the social media stuff and the Facebook and MySpace. I didn't listen to anyone on the internet, and I planned ahead way about a year ago, and well, I kind of hit a home run on this. But in my opinion, I still think Sword and Shield era boxes are $500 to $1,000 boxes. Again, the very bad boxes, or the ones less desirable, the Vivid Voltages, even the Battle Styles, I still think are going to be able to make their way to $500 boxes. I think the better boxes, the Chilling Reigns, the Fusion Strikes, the Lost Origins, are going to break $1,000 a box. And of course, I think Best of Breed, no, not your stepsister, Best of Breed, Evolving Skies, will be a $2,000 to $5,000 box. And I think most of the other boxes in between, I think are going to average at probably 600 to 800 range. The Brilliant Stars, the Astral, maybe like Darkness, even like the base set. I think those still have tremendous room to go, but it's going to be, I don't see them as $1,000+ boxes. I just think that as long as the market still has any of these booster boxes, not loose packs, not accessories, not ancillary products with all kinds of silliness, the actual booster box of these products that are protected and better positioned so that the packs can't be weighed and manipulated. I think the booster boxes and even sealed cases of these particular sets still have a very bright future. So to go back to answer question number 6 of this Pokemon video, yes, I still think if I was starting out today, first of all, I'd be very pissed off at myself for missing out in the last 2, 3, 4 years of opportunity in Pokemon. What were you doing with your life? And that would be the first thing is, yes, I would still be looking to buy in today's Pokemon market. I would be going after anything Sword and Shield that I felt is cheap. If you can get Silver Tempest boxes for $190 to $200 a box, I think that's a tremendous opportunity. We have new sets like Surging. Almost all the Scarlet Violet sets are pretty much around the $200 plus point, right? So we should not have booster boxes from the previous era of Pokemon still around $200 or less. Like, there shouldn't be any booster boxes from the previous era that are under $300, $400, $500 a box. I've already said that. Like, the fact that, like, Silver Tempest is, like, I don't know, 200. Well, comment below. It may not be 200 anymore. By the time we watch this video, there might be a week or two delay on the publishing. But Silver Tempest boxes, when I checked, were, like, $195, $198. Even at 200, even at 210, 220, like, severely underpriced, okay? Even Lost Origins in the 300s, I'm sorry, those are $500 to $1,000 boxes. Fusion Strike, well, that one already moved up to pretty much 500 range because people realized how stupid and how cheap Fusion Strike was such a rejected product for so long. Oh my God, that was such, and then the market realized, like, wait a second, I don't know if this should be a $99 box. It's old and out of print. It's only 120, 140. Is Fusion Strike supposed to be? It's so funny how markets like wake up one day and the market's just like, oh crap, is that the right price? And it just quickly starts resetting and everything starts recalibrating. It's always a wild thing. But I still think, yes, Sword and Shield, if you have the capital, again, if your financial situation is stable, you have a stable job, a stable roof over your head, you've already done the S&P 500, and you're stable in your life, and you have a safe ways to store inventory, and you can wait long term. Do we get all the boring shit out of the way? Anyways, I do still think there's a lot of opportunity there. Let's pause that real quick. Let's go back to Sun and Moon and XY. People ask me all the time, well, Rudy, you have cases in Sun and Moon and XY. You're known for that. The Rudy Pokemon bathroom. And why don't you talk about it much? Why don't you pump that era? Well, there's nothing to talk about. Because that era is already what I call completed. In my opinion, the XY and Sun and Moon era, in my personal opinion, you can disagree because I am stupid 40% of the time. In my opinion, XY and Sun and Moon are already correctly priced. The market is already recalibrated based on a product that's very old and very scarce, and there's very, very little sealed booster boxes of the product left. So in my opinion, I don't think there's much drama in a thing. Like if you want the Rudy honest opinion, if I had $100,000 sitting in the bathroom as I'm dropping pirate ships and you guys are watching me, I don't know why I was told half my viewers only watch my videos privately in the bathroom when their pants are down. I don't know if I'm proud of that, like if I'm concerned, or if I feel like we have like this intimate private moment, you all. I don't know. Like you're going to see the comments below. How did Rudy know that literally my pants I'm in the bathroom right now? How does he know this? Like it's crazy. I know it's crazy. But anyways, back to the video. Why would I deploy $100,000 in the Pokemon XY era or Sun and Moon era? Yes, XY era is a great era. Overprinted to oblivion, all shit, yeah. Sun and Moon was not as good of an era. Just it is what it is. Just the market was not as happy with that era. And then why, on a basic scale, Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, XY, the market's favorite of those three eras, by far, the market loves Sword and Shield. And I'm even on record of stating, and I have positions in all three eras, I am on record saying Sword and Shield could be one of the greatest, if not greatest, Pokemon blocks in history. It's just well done. It's just a good era, man. And this is from a guy who has a bathroom, and I have the sealed product in the other eras. But in my opinion, if I had to deploy money between the different eras, you need to go Sword and Shield. Because you can't deploy a lot of money in XY or Sun and Moon. Most of the boxes are already $500 to $1,000 a box. Most of the boxes online, you may be able to buy one box before the price jumps, or if you buy 5 boxes, the price doubles. There's not a lot left. The market's already, repriced those Pokemon boxes as mature holy smokes, mature asset classes. So, when a box of, I don't know, Ancient Origins, Primal Clash, when these boxes are already $1,000 a box, that's a scenario. I'm going to look at you all and I'm going to say, yeah, you kind of did miss out. It's over. Just move on with your life. I'm not saying you can't buy $1,000 box of Ancient Origins and it can't go to $1,500 or $2,000 a box and you double your money. That is still very on the table. But the odds are, I would say, hey, take the $1,000, buy 2 boxes of Fusion Strike. Take the $1,000, buy 3 boxes of Chilling Reign. Take the $1,000, and if Silver Tempest is still $200 a box, someone comment below. I don't know if Silver Tempest. I feel like by the time you watch this, I feel like people are going to figure that out. Like, take the $1,000, buy 5 boxes. You can buy almost a case of Silver Tempest from the previous block for around $200 a box. Like, that's my attitude to you guys. So, we know for a fact the market is obsessed with Sword and Shield and it's already been deemed one of the best ever. We know for a fact the market doesn't like Sun and Moon as much. We know for a fact the XY era is very volatile. Okay? Sword and Shield wins that category. Number 2, Sun and Moon and XY, all the boxes have already matured and hit $500, $800, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 a box. These things have already happened. And yes, they can go higher, but Rudy, in risk avoidance, Remember, folks, the difference between Timmys and amateurs on the internet who spend their day pounding the keyboard and posting on social media, the real whales and the people who have high net worths and are running businesses and empires, we don't spend our days posting on social media on how I feel or how your stepsister feels. We don't ask, like it's not a thing. So remember, when you're asking these things online, on message boards and Reddits and Discords and MySpace and OnlyFans and Feet Finder, the only responses, the only feet you're going to get are from other people that are maybe at a starting position who are trying to, hey guys, I want to get into this, and like I told you all, those aren't really the ones you want to take advice from. You want to take advice from people who have a lot of skin in the game, who are trying to bamboozle you and are trying to pump and dump like me. Is that what we're doing? Did I say that good? Okay, I got a thumbs up. Stepsister in the back, thumbs up, said I did a good job. So in my opinion, Sword and Shield, if I had to rank them, remains number one. By far, number one, where I still think there's a lot of opportunity. The risk reward is very favorable. Remember, Timmy's, how much money can I make? Can I make a lot of money? No. The real money managers, what's the downside risk, Rudy? Okay, let's be honest here. Well, let's see here. If I buy Twilight Masquerade for $200 a box, yeah, it's probably going to go to $300, $400, $500 in the future. I agree. What's the downside? Well, even if they reprint it, it may drop from $200 to $150, $160. And I'm going to look at you and say, okay, so hang on. So the downside of Twilight Masquerade, an SV era box, is 20%. In the next 5 years, my upside is 200%, 300%, 400%. That's a teeter-totter. Once again, that's not centered. That is an off-balance teeter-totter with limited downside with a higher upside. I like that. So that's what I look at. Now, when you go to Sword and Shield, there are no reprints. There's nothing. So if I look at, I know I'm picking on Silver Tempest. I don't know why I'm picking on Silver. If I look at Lost Origins at $350 a box, the downside is essentially we hit a bear market and it drops maybe 10, 15%. It goes from 350 to maybe 300, maybe 275. Ooh, 15% drop. The downside exposure is so beautiful compared to the upside potential. And that is what money managers, and that is what portfolio managers, and that is what individuals who run hedge funds and they focus on risk. That is what smart money looks for. They don't say, Rudy, what box of cards can go up the most? Nobody fucking knows the answer to that. Okay? If I knew the answer to that, why would I have 1,500 boxes of Battle Styles and only 500 boxes of Evolving Skies? Why didn't I just get rid of all the Battle Styles a long time ago and just pumped all everything in Evolving Skies? Because I didn't know. Nobody knew. I knew Evolving Skies was a better product than Battle Styles, but we don't know. If I had listened to that advice, I would have sold all my Fusion Strike boxes, my 700 boxes of Fusion Strike at $99 when it was laughed at as a shit set, and now it's $500. You can't go by that kind of public moment in the public's opinion, because remember, as we slide forward in time, the public perspective will change, and what we thought was right and what we thought was wrong and what we thought was hot and which dude we thought was not hot and which chick we thought was a perfect 10 turns out to not be true. Time reveals the reality of everything, and on the surface, just like beauty in life, it may fade, or it may be AI, or she may be covered in a bunch of makeup and she's not real, or that dude may be Rudy's hidden stepbrother. You don't know. It takes time to reveal truths in this market. And since we don't know what that future is going to reveal, we have to diversify. So, to end this video here, Rudy loves Sword and Shield still. Okay? If you're a super rich dude and you're a whale and you're trying to park money in Pokemon, yes, going back further to Sun and Moon and XY, there's still opportunity. But the calibration and the risk reward is very different when you go past that era, okay? The Sword and Shield is the sweet spot. 0 reprints, limited downside, and everybody wants it, okay? Scarlet Violet is the one that's just hot now because the market turned and everybody's like, oh. And because everyone's going, Rudy, the scalpers, I can't go to the store. Hi, Rudy, I'm new. Can I buy an MSRP from you? What about MSRP? I got a new shirt It says Rudy's MSRP. Oh my God, that's a great fucking idea. Rudy's MSRP. Oh my God. Anyway, as we continue forward, you need to accept there's nothing wrong with today's prices. The previous prices were too low. The market self-corrected. Boxes today coming out at 150, or what I sell surging sparks for. Release was 138. Sorry, I've already forgot. And I told everyone, the people that are upset, don't buy it because it's going to go to over 200. In the holidays, I warned after Black Friday, going into Stepsister Saturday, into Cyber Sunday, Monday, whatever with your mom Tuesday. As we march through that, surging sparks should break 200 a box. Now, it happened a lot quicker than I thought. Surging at 250, it is what it is. Surging sparks will continue to go higher into the future. The only way we can cool it off is if they print it to the ground and they force distributors to not raise the price. I don't think either one of those scenarios happen. All right, folks. Vintage Pokemon is still very quiet. That's how you know the new stuff is still in a bull market. So conclusion is still looks good. Still looks really good. I don't see any signs of a bubble. I don't see any signs of anything major. I think we continue. And I think most people are still going to miss out because they're upset on the prices. And yeah, Journey together at 150, 170, 200 plus. It's a real price. It's going to continue to do well. And we'll offer it release. Thanks for watching. You'll have a beautiful day out there.